Well, we're about 6 hours away from that most painful, anxiety producing moment known to man. The kickoff of another Detroit Lions football season. If you haven't lived in Michigan, you don't know the agony. You don't know the unease that settles in around this time as you're about to endure yet another season of Detroit Lions football as the rest of the National Football League gets set to kick sand in the Lions' face. Of course, this year, the Lions, they are getting some hype. Some people think this is not the same old Lions. They ended last season with a bang. Almost snuck into the playoffs, ruined Green Bay's season, beat Aaron Rodgers twice. They won, 7 of their last 9 games, 8 of the last 10, something like that. This is not the same old Lions. They're on a rise, but that's the casual fan. Long-time Lions fans know we've been in this position before. I think most NFL fans think the Lions have always sucked, and year after year they're always a loser. I've been following the Lions every year, haven't missed a game since 1970, and about every 10 years, sometimes a little sooner, sometimes a little later, the Lions look like they're right on the edge of being a championship football team. Back in my first Lions season, 1970, the great Hall of Fame linebacker who then became the head coach, Joe Schmidt, took the Lions to the playoffs. They had a great team. They lost a tough game to Dallas, but 1971 rolled around. The Lions are going to be back. Of course, 1971, the Lions finished 7-6-1. Then in 1982 and 1983, Monty Clark got the Lions into the playoffs. In 1983, they were a missed last-second Eddie Murray field goal away from beating the 49ers and moving on. Surely the Lions were ready in 1984 to take that next step. They finished 4-11-1. Then Wayne Fontes had his turn. He took the Lions to the NFC title game in 1991. They soundly beat the Cowboys in the playoffs. Surely in 1992, with Barry Sanders and that young core, they were going to get to the Super Bowl. They finished 5-11. Wayne Fontes would have up and down seasons, taking to the playoffs and losing. And then they hit a long dry spell after they had a little bit of a success under Bobby Ross. Barry Sanders last year, he rushed for 2,000 yards. They got into the playoffs. The following year, the Lions finished 5-11. And then the long drought of the Macmillan years. But in 2011, Jim Schwartz got the Lions to 10-6. They had a young Matthew Stafford and Ndamukong Suh. They had a great roster build-up. Surely they were on their way. And next season, they finished 4-12. They got rid of Jim Schwartz a couple of years later. Jim Caldwell came in, and he worked wonders with Stafford and Suh. They were 11-5. And they had that infamous playoff game down there in Dallas where the Zebras picked up the flag, cheated the Lions out of a win. But surely Jim Caldwell was going to get them to that next step. No, they finished 7-9 the following year. So here we are. The Lions once again trying to con people into thinking they are on their way. But like I said, I'm a long-time Lions fan. To me, until they actually prove it, it's the same old Lions. My prediction for tonight's game, I hate to say it, even though Kansas City might be missing some of their best players. This is the same old Lions. As much as I like Dan Campbell, and he's the most likable coach the Lions have had, you got to pull for the guy. He's a straight shooter. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He ain't worried about his reputation in the public. It would be nice if he could pull this off, but like I said, I've seen a lot of Lions teams be right at this step where they're got everybody believing they're ready to go to the next level. And then as soon as they get there, they fall flat on their face. I hate to say it, but I don't see Dan Campbell any more of a wonder worker than Joe Schmidt, Bobby Ross, Jim Schwartz, Wayne Fonts, Monty Clark. I hope he proves me wrong tonight, because if they beat the Chiefs tonight, I'll get on that bandwagon. I'll believe this isn't the same old Lions, because they actually won a game where somebody's expecting something of them. A lot of times the Lions, they start out so bad, 1-5, 1-6. They win. It's easy to play football when you're 1-6. Not so easy when it's the first game of the year against the Kansas City Chiefs at Kansas City. So if they win this game tonight, it'll be to me a small sign that this might not be the same old Lions. Maybe Dan Campbell is the guy. We'll see. But my prediction is this is the same old Lions. I'm predicting Kansas City to win 30-13. The usual Lions way. They'll have a couple of turnovers. Goff will have a fumble and or an interception. One of the rookies, Gibbs or Laporta, will fumble. Their field goal kicker will miss at least one field goal. They'll have some dumb offsides penalty on defense to give Kansas City a big first down, or a 15-yard penalty when they had a drive stop to keep the Chiefs alive. The usual litany of Lions screw-ups we've seen since 1970. So I'm going out tonight. I'm picking Kansas City 30-13. I hate to do it. I'm a Lions fan. I hate to, but hey, I'm a realist. I've been watching this since 1970. They've been here before, and they've always fell flat on their face. Let's hope this year is different. We've got our note here from old Jim Schwartz telling us how proud he was of his time with the Lions. He signed this gospel track, Go Lions, Jim Schwartz. So we're going to rub this gospel track for good luck. We're going to say a blessing for our Detroit Lions. Let's have a little moment of silence where everybody can say a blessing for the Detroit Lions, that this year they aren't the same old Lions. Well, let's have a moment of silence as we rub our gospel tract, autographed by Jim Schwartz. Let's hope that's not the end for the Lions this year. All right, that is it. That's our annual Detroit Lions opening night video. Lions, please don't be the same old Lions. Let's go out and get a W. Well, I don't think they will, but hey, I've been following them since 1970. They keep me coming back for more. What can I say? I'm a die-hard Detroit Lions fan. Forward down the field.